Hey everybody, welcome back to HemingwayLand.com, your source for quality, affordable land in the state of New Mexico. So, you guys have been asking me for more properties in Timberon, so I finally found some more, and this is one of them. This is reference number OTNM-0010L, located as noted in Otero County, New Mexico, in the Timberon subdivision, specifically Unit 7. This is 1 acre, and it is priced at $3,500. As with all of our properties, let's bring this up on a map. Come down here, click on the GPS coordinates, and we'll pull up the Google Maps. So, the specific property is located here off of Norwood Drive. Before I get into that, let's just talk about the Timberon area for the uninitiated, for those who haven't watched me talk about this before. If you have, I'm going to repeat what I've said in other videos and bore you for the next 45 seconds. So here we go. So Timberon is one of these areas where developers came in years ago, bought up a couple thousand acres, subdivided everything into 1.5 acre lots, and then resold them. This area, however, is different than most of the areas in the state where that happened because the developers stuck around. They created a property owners association. They created just sort of a better sense of community out here than most people do. And so it's actually kind of a built-up area where a number of people live, and there's a lot of nice amenities. If you zoom in here on the map, you can see that. So first you've got the Timberon golf course out here. You've got some swimming pools. You've got the Timberon lake. And you can also see that it's built up just in things that it has to offer. There's a volunteer fire department on location out here within Timberon, post office area, and then of course the Timberon Development Council is the governing body that sort of runs this place. But there's also some nearby RV parks, things like that, and most notably, gang, a airstrip, a runway here. So if you're looking to buy some land that you can fly to, this will be this will be an area you can fly to. Land here at the Timberon Airport and make your way out to the property. All right, with all of that said, let's talk about the specific lot down here on Norwood Drive. I should just mention we sold a lot on Brownwood Drive just a couple months ago. So, apropos of nothing. Anywho, all right, two things to note. Number one is that this property has water lines in the area. This property is serviced by the Timberon Water and Sanitation District, so you can actually get a water hookup on this property. Now, first thing to note is if you're looking to buy property that's sort of a vacation area, just someplace you go seasonally, if you've got an RV and you travel with it, you can stay out here on the land for 30 days at a time, unless, get this guys, unless you have a water hookup on the property, and then you can be out there 180 days. Does anybody come and tell you to move on the 181st day? I doubt it. Whatever the case, there's water hookup out here. Now, I have been told that there is power at this property. I think the nearest power line is over here at the neighboring property. But I think that you can kind of make out some sort of power lines that are running through this area. My photographer says there's no power on the property itself. The nearest one is over here. So just an FYI. So if you want to come out here and build something, you're going to have to get power extended probably from this. This looks to be the nearest spot where power can get extended out from. So you may want to call the local utility company and talk to them about what exactly that's going to cost. I will get to that in a second. Now, let me go back here to the listing page. If you come down here, as with all of our properties, we get photos from the property itself. I will tell you we had our photographer out there shooting a number of properties in the course of 1 or 2 days. So first you've got the sort of local community photos that are like the first 12 photos here. That'll give you a sense of what's out there. This is the Timberon Development Council office, local post office, restaurants, fire department, some shots from the golf course, another restaurant, more golf course, so on and so forth. This is what I want to show you guys. So when I say that there is some sort of water hookup on the property, my original supposition was that there was a pipe sticking out of the ground that looks something like this, and they come and hook you up that way. I have since been disabused of that notion, and I just want to correct it for you guys. This is a water valve that you will find throughout areas that the Water and Sanitation District services. They don't have water lines throughout all of Timberon, just certain areas. This is one of them. So something like this is going to be out there by the subject property, not necessarily on the subject property. Whatever the case, it is available for that property. Anywho, once you get past that, you come down here. These are going to be photos from the property itself, from Norwood Drive. So if you take a look at these, you're going to get a sense of exactly how forested the property is, the terrain, so on and so forth. And perhaps it'll give you some sense of what you would have to do to actually build on this property, what kind of landscaping will be required. There's an artful photo of a daisy. Yes, and what you would have to do to actually build out here. Now, I should also mention down here below this, we're going to have, this is a drone video from the area. We have from another property that we premiered a couple months ago, and we're going to have a second drone video down here. The drone videos, because we're flying over trees, and mostly all you're going to see are trees. You know, I didn't have him do a new drone video of trees, but if you want to get a sense of the Timberon area, this will be an excellent video to watch, as well as the one that's below that when we add it. Anywho, let's get back to this for a second. So let's say you're looking at this property and you want to come out here and you want to build. Here's some things to note. First off, I would direct you to this thing right here, which is the covenants and restrictions that govern this area. Now, if you click on this PDF, it's going to bring up this. So this property is in Unit 7. I think there's 14 units out there, something like that. Each unit has its own covenants and restrictions that go with the land. So things that you can't do that are just sort of deeded with the property. So if you are looking to buy this, specifically to build, I would familiarize yourself with these covenants. Now, as I have mentioned in previous videos, a lot of this stuff is just obvious good neighbor stuff. Don't leave trash around. Don't start fires, things like that. But there are two things here that I should point out to you guys. Number one, minimum ground floor area, 800 square feet. I don't know exactly what the definition of a tiny house is, what the cutoff is for tiny house square footage. If it's over X, then it's no longer a tiny house. My suspicion, however, is that 800 feet qualifies. So if you're looking to build something like a tiny house, you're probably going to be able to do it out here. Number one. Number two, another thing to note here, no trailer, mobile home, yada, yada, yada. I don't know if that, it doesn't say anything here about a cement foundation for the mobile home. And that's usually, typically if you have a cement foundation, that's usually what makes it okay and permitted versus one that doesn't, which is not okay and not permitted. Anyway, familiarize yourself with these. It'll help you understand what you can do out there, what you can build out there. And if you have further questions, hang on, guys. Have further questions, call me. No, I don't know the answers. Call any one of these contact links down here. Now, I'll just run through this for you. The assessor's office is probably not going to be of much help. The planning commission is not going to be of much help, but we provide those in case you have, other questions. These couple links right here are going to be most helpful for you in doing any kind of research, any kind of questions that you have about, hey, I want to build out here. Can I do this? Number one. Number two, basically, what's it going to cost me? So, Timberon Development Council is the first one. You click on this, it's going to bring up their website. Their website is immensely informative about a number of things, and I would encourage you, amongst other things, to check out their Timberon FAQ. If you have specific questions about like what we discussed within those covenants and restrictions about 800 square feet, can I do a tiny house? Can I do this kind of power hookup, things like that? I would direct those questions to Timberon Development Council. They're going to be very informative about that. Next. Timberon Water and Sanitation District. I have only the most basic knowledge of how this whole water line, water hookup thing works. If you want to get more specific, if you want to get a real sense of that, I would click on that and go to their website and give them a call and ask them about it. Now, let me quickly say this. If you're doing research on this property and you're saying, hey, I want to go out there and build, I want to confirm if there's water lines out there, I want to know what it costs to hook up, so on and so forth, they're probably going to ask you either the legal description of the property or the parcel number, so they know where this property is located. Or you could just tell them it's on Norwood Drive, and they'll probably know. Whatever the case, I would use either one of those two things to denote the location of the property. Anyway, Timberon Water and Sanitation District, this is a very helpful website. They've got a lot of information here, so I would highly encourage you to check that out. Furthermore, we also have a link to the Otero County Electric Cooperative. This is the local electric company that services this area. So if you want to call and you want to ask them, hey, I'm looking at a property, it looks like there's a power pole about 3 lots over from me, can you give me a sense of what it's going to take to get power out to my lot? What does that cost, practically speaking? They're going to be able to give you a pretty good sense of that as well. So hopefully that will help all of you in your research. As I mentioned in another video, I try to be as transparent about these things. I try to provide as much information as possible to help you guys do your research on them. I can't answer every question, and I dare not speculate on a lot of it. I don't know much about hooking up water, hooking up power, etc., but I can at least point you in the directions of people who can give you informed answers. Anyway, if you are looking to buy this property, just come up here, click the Buy Now button. It's going to take you to secure checkout. You enter all the information that we need, legal name for the deed, tax address, where the county treasurer is going to send the tax bill every year, so on and so forth. Agree to our terms of service, click Next, and then on the next page you'll be asked to enter credit and debit card information. We will reach out to you almost immediately once you process the transaction, and within 24 hours we'll have a deed to you in your email for you to, approve. Make sure we spelled your name right, things like that. And once you say it's good, we're going to autograph and notarize it, mail it off to the county to be recorded. The county's going to record it and forward it on to you. From start to finish, it's going to be about 3 weeks before you have the thing in your hand. That being said, as soon as you give us money, we don't care what you do. The property is yours as far as we are concerned. Anywho, I hope this was helpful. I hope I haven't repeated myself too much from past Timberon videos. If you have any questions, leave a comment here on YouTube. Shoot us an email, support@hemingwayland.com, or send us a call. Call us, 702-919-7170. All right, everybody, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.